Could you tell us what you found with regard to the defendant's mental state?
I found a great deal of evidence consistent with opinions that others had reached that Mrs. Broderick is not mentally ill, but rather she suffers from a personality disorder, specifically a narcissistic personality disorder.
Can you tell us how a psychiatrist would determine whether somebody has such a disorder?
Actually, there are 9 characteristics, but we diagnose people as narcissistic if they have 5 of those 9.
What did you find regarding Mrs. Broderick?
I found evidence of all 9.
For instance?
Well, the first criterion is narcissistic rage in response to criticism. Examples in Mrs. Broderick's past include throwing things at Dan, locking him out of the house, burning his clothes, bashing her truck into his front door, her repeated homicidal threats. All this reflects a narcissistic rage of someone who perceives severe criticism of herself.
What is the second criterion?
That would come under the heading of interpersonal exploitation. That means, for example, the way she manipulated her children in her quest for revenge. She used them as pawns against Dan without thinking about how this would affect the children themselves. All this is corroborated in statements the children gave to therapists and the telephone tapes. Mrs. Broderick is an intelligent woman who even acknowledged reading books on divorce about the effects of this kind of behavior on children. But it was more important to her to hurt Dan and Linda than to prevent the possibility of harm to her children.
Does your review of all the materials in the defendant's case file show her to be suicidal?
It does not. In many ways, Mrs. Broderick is too narcissistic to kill herself. Narcissists have difficulty harming themselves because they hold themselves in such high regard. All her repeated threats were threats of homicide, not suicide.
Not suicide. Homicide.